Yes, starts.
Okay. So the hip examination starts with inspection. My patient came with pain or complaints in the left hip. So I'm going to demonstrate examination of the left hip. So examination starts with inspection. In inspection, what you have to do is see the hip from outside. You have to expose the limbs and hip adequately to see the problems in the hip joint. So first thing that you notice about the limb is its attitude. Now the attitude is the position of the limb in which the patient is absolutely comfortable. Like in this patient, this is normal external rotation attitude of 10-15 degrees. This is neutral, this is external rotation, this is internal rotation. So this is normal, and as compared to the right side, this is same. So we call it as normal external rotation attitude with a normal extension of the knee and normal neutral position of the hip joint. Now, there can be sometimes shortening or lengthening which can be seen of the limb. So that you have to mention whether it's an apparent. It is called as apparent because it is seen and it is not measured. So there can be an apparent lengthening or shortening or an apparent limb length discrepancy. Then you might sometimes be able to see the anterior superior iliac spine in a thin patient. Here it is difficult to make out, but still, though it's a thin patient, but still we'll see that on palpation. Okay. Now we have to see whether there are any scar sinuses or swelling which is evident from outside. Sometimes you might notice wasting of the thigh muscles, that you have to mention. If the anterior superior iliac spine is clearly visible, then you have to mention whether it is proximally migrated or not, or whether the pelvis is square. Don't forget to see the gluteal region, because that is the posterior part of the hip joint. And also you have to see for the lordosis if the patient is having it. It is usually apparent from the supine position only. So if there is lumbar lordosis which is very evident, then you have to tell that. And that will help you to identify whether there is any flexion deformity. Now, after you finish inspection, then you have to go to palpation. Palpation always starts with local temperature. So you have to see for the local temperature at the back of your hand, because that is the most sensitive part. Before you see for local temperature, you should not do any other examination of palpation, because it will alter the temperature by the conduction currents from your hand and the body. So the temperature you have to always compare it with the opposite side or the normal side. Now, as this temperature is appearing normal, second point in palpation will be tenderness. Now you have to see for the tenderness. Tenderness is first seen in the Scarpa's triangle or the femoral triangle. Femoral triangle boundaries you should know. It is formed by the sartorius muscle, the gracilis, and the inguinal ligament. This tenderness in the femoral triangle tells you about whether there is any tenderness over the hip joint. Okay, so this is tenderness of the anterior joint line. Then you have to see for tenderness of other bony points, like tenderness of anterior superior iliac spine, tenderness of greater trochanter, tenderness if there is any in the gluteal region, like this. And you have to give adequate optimum pressure over the bone or the part to see for or elicit for the tenderness. While eliciting tenderness, you have to press on the affected part and see for the reaction of the patient. After tenderness, you have to see for if the pulsation of the femoral artery. So femoral artery pulsations, if that is present, then you say that the
vascular sign of Narath is absent.
vascular sign of Narath is absent, or vascular sign of Narad is the pulsations of the femoral artery. You can mention that in vascular sign of Narad, the femoral artery pulsations are normally felt compared to the opposite side. 8